We are standing near the Van Schoik family mausoleum. There are very few family mausoleums in the cemetery, and where you see a mausoleum, you see a family that clearly had some wealth. The front of the mausoleum and also at the back, you see what might be stonework covering what was originally stained glass windows. We don't know if they're still there or if they ever were, but it appears to be covering what was windows. The roof and the sides of the mausoleum represent rusticated or axed stone. This was very popular in Victorian-era cemeteries, and it was made to look that way because they thought it looked more natural. This would be a good time to tell you that many of the statues that you see on top of pedestals, such as the mourning women or draped urns, were not actually produced in Bloomington. They were produced out east and brought in on rail. People would use mail order catalogs, much like we use Amazon.com now, to order in things that they couldn't find in town. Victorian symbolism was very popular in the cemeteries, but that has been replaced by more explicit artwork on stones now, with everything from motorcycles to musical notes ornating a stone. Our next character is indeed a character. Charles, or Old Hoss Radbourn, was born in Rochester, New York in 1854. Like Adam Guthrie, he had moved to Bloomington by the time he was a year old. Old Hoss had a very early interest in baseball, and his career probably started in the field near his family barn at Wood and Center Streets. He would spend hours throwing that ball against the side of the barn, perfecting what would become his dry spitter and his curveball. It seems that Old Hoss was always involved in some kind of controversy of some sort, even in his earliest days of baseball, such as the time he was accused of throwing or losing a game on purpose. It seemed he was playing for the Bloomingtons when he was approached by some gamblers who wanted the outcome of the game to go towards Springfield. Hoss had a unique defense, and he says, "I may have met with those gamblers, but I was far too drunk to have any memory of the conversation, and I certainly couldn't take a bribe." Interestingly enough, during the game in question, Hoss committed 5 errors while on the field, and the Bloomingtons did lose to the Springfields 1-4. So did he, or didn't he? I guess we'll never know. Hoss played for several teams in different leagues during his professional career. His career did span about 10 years before he retired and returned to Bloomington. In Bloomington, he opened a billiard saloon called Radbourn Place. It was in the 200 West Washington block of Bloomington. An 1891 ad touted the best of everything in wet goods and cigars. Hoss's last years were marked by failing health brought on by a series of illnesses and accidents. We're going to go meet Old Hoss now and hear his colorful, or should I say, off-color explanation of his life.
What are you looking at? I don't give out autographs no more. Not unless you come up to my billiards and pool parlor. Radbourn's place up in West Washington. I mean, I might sign one to a customer up there, but you gotta play a game of pool or buy some cigars. I'm not giving anything away for nothing, I'll tell you that much. Still, like the poster for my place says, we guarantee polite attention and pleasant associates. Was that pleasant enough for you? There's no denying that I'm a big attraction around here. A celebrity, somebody called me, or some fancy dancy name like that. But nobody else won 59 games in one big league season, that's for sure. 1884 it was. I was pitching for the Providence Ball Club. See, me and Charlie Sweeney, we was the pitching staff. And I mean, we was the pitching staff. Not like it is today in 1894 when every ball club's got 5 or 6 pitchers so nobody gets his precious little arm used up too fast. No, sir. In 84, it was just me and Sweeney. And Sweeney, he jumped to the Union Association about halfway through the season. You get my meaning, don't you? What's the matter with you? Don't you speak English? There's more than one league, see, not just a national league. And the Union Association, they just pay more money. So Sweeney, what's he do? He just waltzes right on over to the St. Louis Maroons, leaving us with only one pitcher. Yours truly. And I was on suspension at the time. They said I was drunk too much. Well, I like my whiskey, and why not? You show me a man that don't like his liquor, and I'll show you a snot-nosed Nancy boy. Anyhow, the Providence team, they was going to get some more pitchers, right? But I just goes to the team's owner, and I said, Frank, what do you need somebody else for? You just give me the ball every day. And when I said every day, I meant every day. I pitched every game for a solid month, I did. When I got up in the morning, I'd barely be able to lift my arm to brush my teeth. But I'd stretch it out. I'd rub it up. Come game time, I'd be back out there on the mound, just pitching up a storm. Of course, it drove me a hard bargain, too. I doubled my salary. That was the only reason I pitched so often. Money. That's what I wanted. Not fame, glory, any of those things people like to talk about. Nope, money's the thing that I wanted. Money's what I got. For a swabber like me, a guy who could barely read or write, $3,000 bucks. Well, that's a hefty chunk of green. You bet. Of course, now, when the owner of the team brought up the subject, I was too by God smart to say that it was all about the money. Nope. I said that old team, it meant so much to me. I would pitch my arm right off just to win us the pennant. You know, somebody asked me once if I got tired pitching every day. You want to know what I told them? I said, tired out, tossing a little 5-ounce ball for 2 hours a day. Let me tell you something. I used to be a butcher. From 4 in the morning till 8 at night, I knocked down steers with a 25-pound sledge. So tired of playing 2 hours a day for 10 times the money I used to get working, what, 16 hours a day? What are you, crazy in the head? But I got me a record, gonna live forever. I won 59 games that season. And ain't nobody can do that again. That's when the newspapers took to calling me Old Hoss, because I just lifted that team on my back and I carried it straight to the league championship. I started 73 games that year, and I finished every damn one of them. And then, as if that weren't enough, we took on the New York Metropolitans of the American Association. This was in the Championship of America, what later would come to be known as the World Series. And I started every game. I pitched every inning. And I won all them, too. Those New York candy lickers, they couldn't touch my pitches. Fastball, curveball, up shoot, down shoot, fade away, it didn't matter. Because I baffled them, see? I baffled them with my underhand delivery. Of course, now 84, that was the first year to pitch an overhand was even legal. But me, I just kept right on doing it the way I always had. Coming from underneath. From underneath. Nobody could touch me. How about you, big fella? Think you could touch me? I think you'd like to go a couple rounds with me. You think you can lay a hand on me? Well, let me tell you something. I might not be as big as you are, but I guarantee you one thing. I'd knock you right into the 21st century. Ain't nobody gonna lay a hand on old Charlie Radbourn. Not old Hoss. Not the greatest pitching machine in the history of baseball. All right, now get out of here. I got better things.
In 1939, Haas was one of the first 27 entrants voted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. The bronze marker on the back of his monument is a replica of his Hall of Fame plaque. Many baseball historians cite him as being the greatest pitcher of the earliest days of baseball. The year 2014 marks the 130th anniversary of his 59 win, although older sources say it was a 62 win season. 59 wins, 62 wins. Either way, Haas has a record, like he just said, ain't never gonna be broken by anyone.